Well, I think surreal is kind of the word I would use, because, we moved here 6 years ago from Virginia, DC area, and we moved here with a dream, to be able to get into this community, do business in the community, meet great people, and really just not only help the community thrive, but also accept the energy back from the community to help us thrive. And so the fact that that's come full circle, in this wonderful recognition really means a lot to us as a business, means a lot to us as members of this community.
As we got to know Savannah by coming down here and visiting and realizing how wonderful the business community is here, we knew that this was the place that we wanted to be. And to now be recognized in this business community in a relatively short amount of time, it just means the absolute world to us.
I really grew up behind a microphone, mostly behind a microphone at a radio station for 27 years. So really, I think that whole journey put us in a place when we were still in Virginia to say, what can we do to help amplify voices and stories, and how can we make this a really big business and a really big deal where it actually makes an impact. And so, yeah, there were a lot of risks, and we had, certainly a lot of nervous moments at the beginning where we were like, how is Savannah ready to embrace the podcast industry in such a way? Because we tailor to a very specific audience and client, where we want to help businesses, nonprofits, individual brands, tell their stories and have their own platforms. And I've just been thrilled with how that's been received. And so the reward has definitely outweighed the risks, I would say.
It was scary to for both of us to jump in with both feet and go full time with this venture in a new town. But it has, to use that word again, the community here has absolutely embraced us, and it just felt like every step of the way, things just kept coming for us, and we were working hard for them, granted, but they just seemed to light the way for us and tell us that we were definitely going in the right direction.
Don't give up. Keep putting the hours in, keep putting the work in, even though there are risks and there are moments when you get nervous about, will this take off? Will my idea take off? Will my business take off? Will my nonprofit take off? Keep putting in the work and lean on your network and your village, because that's one thing that we've just been so inspired by is, through the network of, starting with the Savannah Chamber and going out, and just networking with people, really just putting ourselves out there, being vulnerable to say, look, we're new and this is what we're bringing to the table. We want to be a part of the fabric of this community. We want to help it thrive and rise and get bigger and better. And I think in doing that, it's really investing in relationships. That's something we talk about a lot, is investing in relationships has gotten us to where we are today, and I think will make us continue to grow.
Take the leap, do it. Take the leap and trust yourself. We did that, and we very quickly found a home with the chamber. It was a wonderful place to land and build our business. But there are also scary times. There have been scary times. There have been lean times, and I would say lean into those too, because sometimes your most creative ideas come out of those times. And really lean into it, and don't let it scare you away.
So one thing that we're super excited about is the growth that we've seen within our business over the last 6 years. When we came to Savannah, we started with one podcast, and today we are managing and producing over 25 podcasts. So that is amazing in itself, but to also see the opportunities to scale our business, to grow our business, we've just not too long ago opened up other arms of our business where we're now in audiobook production, as well as consulting services for those who want to start a high quality podcast as a branding, marketing material for themselves as an arm, to be able to take that to a level of professionalism that stands out. So we've been able to see that kind of growth. And I mean, I'm just inspired all the time to see what we can do based here in this community, and the people that surround us that are lifting us up and helping to be a part of that.
This has inspired us so much. The momentum was already there, and I feel like it's just accelerated it that much more. Having this recognition means the world to us, means that we're really going in the right direction, that we're doing the right thing for our business. And it also has inspired us to give back to the community even more. We would love to continue to give back and even bring that up to another level, because this community has embraced us so much. I just want to give back as much as possible and show how grateful we are and show our gratitude for that.
Everyone has a story. All of us have a story. And it's really interesting when you're able to share it, because someone else will relate to it. And so if you can find a platform to share your story, whether that's on someone else's podcast or by getting your own podcast, or by sponsoring a podcast that's maybe local or regional or whatever, there's an opportunity there. There's a window, there's a platform for you to share your story, whether it's your personal story or your business story or your nonprofit story, whatever it is, there is a platform for you. And obviously, we're here to help people, tell that story. But that's really my message always, of like, we all have a story and people will relate to it if you can get to a place where you can share.
I would echo that a little bit, in that how powerful telling your story in your own words is. And if anything, doing this full time for the past 6 years has taught me how powerful that is for businesses and nonprofits and solopreneurs. Being able to have your own voice out there, whether it's in a long form podcast where you're doing, a year of podcasts, or it's in a minute commercial on another podcast that reaches your target audience. Introducing yourself and to the community and giving your story in your own words is incredibly powerful and should not be underestimated.